One of them is "And Then the Weather Arrives," which is an early poem and seems to be partly about imagining someone's going to come up and spend the night with you, but in fact doesn't, probably.
Yeah, it's like letting go of a love and kind of an imagined echo.
It's such a great poem because you're imagining that encounter, but you're alone.
Right.
And the other one is the sad part is, which is coming back from, I think, the laundromat and being alone and kind of, do either of those strike you as relevant to this thing I'm saying, and would you be willing to look at either of those?
Now, remind me again what this thing you're saying is?
Well,
like I'm not being an ass.
I made it more complex than it is. Writing is desire, not a form of it, so the poems are desire. And so one is desirous and makes poems.
And desire isn't always sexual. I mean, in a way, it's sort of about a desire. I mean, I think we were saying this. It's just like a desire to be present.
Right.
And the how completely, I just sitting here now, it's just like, some part of me is like, and not because how wonderful to be sitting in front of a room full of people talking about your own work, right? But then
So
there's
there's
still
no
that
desire
there's
right
still,
now.
But there's still that biological or that thing where you just kind of forget where you are and what you're doing, and you're, later on, I think I better go do that and thing. It's just like, and it's just like, it's so kind of like missing the party, of the present. I remember talking to. Like I'm a quasi-Buddhist, and so at different points, so it means I sit some of the time. I've been part of groups of people who sit, Zen. I like Zen. I don't like Tibetan Buddhism, because Tibetan Buddhism seems to be more attractive to like Protestants and Jews and Catholics. It's just like it's already too fluffy being a Catholic. It's too much. You want Zen. With like less, please. But I've sat with Zen teachers, and you do that thing that they call it interviews, where you kind of bow and you sit down, and they say, "What is your question?" And you have a question. And mine was just the first time I asked, it was like about this problem of presence, which is that there were these moments in my life that I've awaited with great expectation, and then somehow I got there and I forgot to remember to be present, or we were all there to watch the tower light up, and somehow I turned and looked and the tower was already lit. Or, when the World Trade Center, when those, I remember like being, Jordana called me and said, I guess we can't go to the airport today. A plane hit the World Trade Center. And I was like, what? So I'm throwing on my cutoffs, running up to the roof, and looking, and there's the two towers flaming, and then I was like, I better get some coffee. Go down, come back up, and there's only one tower. And I was like, whoa, I need some more coffee. I go down. So obviously, it's like the great, spectacle of actually seeing the towers collapse, I do wish I saw that, and stuff. But it just as an illustration, it was just like endlessly always somehow missing the thing. And so I said, what is this about? Why am I always not there? And he said, well, it's not the moment. It's all the moments leading up to the moment. It's sort of like you already weren't there. That's the problem. It's sort of like you weren't there before you walked in the room. It's sort of like, so how could you be in the room? And it's just, so I feel like my work so much, it's not whatever the line is, desire, not a form of it. It's sort of like I desire to be here desperately. You know what I mean? I think love is like that too. It's just like, am I actually connecting with another human being? Is this actually happening?